It looks like there's some chaos in Spain, more specifically between the local population of Spaniards and Moroccans, migrants, illegal and legal. It's kind of crazy, and it's also evolving right now. So a little disclaimer: by the time you're watching this video, some things might be still relevant and others might be outdated. So still want to try my best to cover this as I think it's important because it does bring the larger conversation of mass migration to the channel. But before we get into the serious topic, I do want to give a special shout out to Lord Kowalski for dropping a super thanks on one of my videos and recommending a beer to try, specifically a Polish beer. That super thanks actually inspired me to order some Polish beers and do a beer tasting video. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't want to spoil it, but keep an eye out on the channel. If you want to get involved in a next video by getting a shout out or just buying me a drink, consider doing a super thanks on any of my videos. So if you're from Spain, consider doing something that you would drink in Spain. That fun stuff out of the way. Let's get back to the serious conversation. Link to the original video down in the description below. If you like the conversations and discussions to do here on my channel, consider subscribing. Let's get into it.
The streets of Spain have devolved into chaos. Yes, the middle of summer should be heaven in Spain, but not this year. Locals are being terrorized
España. ¿Dónde está mi gente de España?
by migrant gangs with reports of random acts of violence towards innocent local members of the community. The chaos started when an elderly local Spanish man was brutally beaten out of nowhere in Torre-Pacheco by a North African gang.
For no reason, by the way. They did it simply because they were just thought it was funny and they recorded it as well. I do want to give context. I do know what this story is about. But I mostly want to kind of inform you guys about what's going on over there as we do talk about immigration and mass migration here on this channel. So I figured we all talk about it. It's crazy. It's actually, to me, baffling that migrants feel so comfortable that they could just attack random people in Spain. I know it's some people want to make it about the migrants. I think that's valid, but it says more about the Spanish government that these criminals feel comfortable doing what they do. They're guests in the country, yet they feel emboldened. Crazy.
This show of thuggery sparked outrage in the community, leading to a weekend of wild clashes between locals and migrant groups.
This part's crazy. So what these people are running around with machetes. The migrants are. Again, goes back to saying, wow, they feel so comfortable doing these violent crimes. And nowhere do you see the Spanish police in this video, by the way. La gente de España, ¿qué es lo que está pasando? Dime, ¿cómo usted va a sentar ahí y no preguntarte aún? ¿Cómo cómo es que esto es posible en tu país? What I said is, my people of Spain, how are you sitting there looking at what's happening and asking yourself, how is this even possible? These people need to ask themselves, how did we get to this point? And why is it nobody scared to do these crimes? No, it seems like these guys are fine with doing it and recording it. That is what the situation is over there. It's crazy.
This Spanish commentator was outraged by the scene, saying, "This is happening in Murcia, Spain."
Murcia. ¿Dónde está la Murcia? I'm going to move sorry if I'm speaking Spanish. Actually, I'm never going to apologize for speaking Spanish, but I'm going to move that there so you can see it. I'm Mexican, so my family's from Mexico, so that's the Spanish you're hearing. It's not Spain Spanish. Hundreds of armed migrants are attacking Spaniards. Just being Spaniards, how are they not deported by now? That's what I'm saying.
Hundreds of armed migrants are attacking Spaniards just for being Spaniards. How are they not deported by now? And it didn't stop there.
Look at that. And by the way, this is what's crazy. The only logical, like, when I make the joke that I always make the joke that, oh, that people are so Yas Queen Slay, like own, yes, we love migrant mass migration, even though it fucks up our country. If you notice, the only real reason is cheap labor and Twitter likes because they just want the clout and the social media attention from being so open minded, right? But this is this is consistently the result of what happens in all these countries with mass migration. Just saying. All right, take a shot every time you see a person that's not the Spanish police.
This commentator is blasting the media for their lack of coverage on the issue, saying chaos in Spain. Reports of gangs of foreigners have been attacking people on the streets. Spanish people have gathered on the streets to stop the attack.
And this is where, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm always being honest, but I don't condone violence regardless. Like, I don't think anybody should ever be violent towards one another. Um, Nor do I think you should ever, if someone's violent towards you, you're allowed to defend yourself, but it's about making your voice heard. So whatever you need to do to make your voice heard, I think that's important, but it shouldn't be violent. That being said, to clarify, these people, these migrants are just attacking people for the funsies because it's fun. Like they can do that, and the Spanish government and the police just don't care. It seems like that's crazy. So it's like if you're, I don't blame the people for going out there and doing that. Do I think again they should be violent? No, but why is anybody surprised? Right? No one should be surprised about this. If anything, when you see the tensions of what's happening through mass migration, this has always been the thing that's always frustrated me about this. It's like everyone, all these governments have been like, yes, bringing all these people that are not compatible with these other cultures and then just be blind about like the consequences of it. It's like, no, if you're responsible, you would understand, okay, there might be migrant gangs that are attacking people. Maybe we should, I don't know, bring peace and protect our local population. It's just wild. This whole thing is wild to me. And I'm not surprised. I just shouldn't be surprised. No one should. If anything, you should feel like, well, why is it that these migrant gangs feel that they could just go out and attack people and nothing's going to happen? That's what you should be asking yourself.
Why isn't this on the news? The clashes also have a religious undertone, with many blaming the Muslim background of the immigrants for the chaos. This commentator shared footage of a religious march in the streets of Barcelona. He said, military-aged Muslim
I was just about to say, man, where's all these women and children that have fled all these things? Dang, how convenient.
men take over streets in Spain to show the citizens they are taking control. It is intimidation designed to silence dissent. But these locals had enough and began chanting.
I just also like, let's just be real. A lot of these religions and cultures are not compatible with Western ideas. They're literally the opposite. So they just expect everyone to be kumbaya, oh, we're all friends, doesn't make any sense. Especially when, if you look at the countries who oppose Western values, predominantly Muslim countries, they seek to destroy Western values. Like, it's not that they're being passive. It's not like they don't care. They care and want to destroy. It's very different.
In defense of Christianity, saying Spain is Christian, not Muslim.
España cristiana y no musulmana. España cristiana y no musulmana.
And again on the streets with larger protest groups gathering to reclaim their country.
And I think this is the way it should be done, just to be clear. I think you should peacefully protest and make it clear to the government that you are the victims. You are the people being punished for some weird policies that politicians do. Like, it's very clear, like, there's something else at play here. I'm not trying to be all conspiratorial, never do. But here, let me give an example. In America, right now, we have a situation where we have the California governor who's pro mass illegal immigration, right? He's pro letting anyone and everyone in because it brings in cheap labor. Recently, the U.S. government seized or raided a marijuana farm in California. Guess what was at this farm? Illegal, undocumented workers that were basically being paid little to nothing. And but guess what they also found? They found kids working there, minors working there. So not only was it undocumented labor, cheap labor, it was child labor. But guess who that the owner of that wheat farm, huge donor to the California Democratic Party. So it's just very ironic that a lot of these things are very self-interest. And I think a lot of the people around the world need to recognize that if you're from Spain and you are the local population and you're being put in a position where you're not the focus and you're not the priority, and they're treating you like second class citizens in order to, I don't know for what reason, doesn't make any sense. But if you're Spain and you're Spanish, you should be really asking for real answers, because it makes no sense why you are being silenced, why you are being punished, and why you're being the victims for literally no benefit. There's no benefit to this. It's an overall net negative. Always.
¡Hay que defenderla! ¡Esta es nuestra tierra! ¡Y hay que defenderla! ¡Esta es nuestra tierra! ¡España es cristiana y no musulmana! ¡España es cristiana y no musulmana! ¡España es cristiana y no...
And all of this chaos is leading some commentators and locals alike to question the need for so much migration.
So you now have ethnic conflict within Spain because of immigration. Immigrants came in, attacked an old man for no reason. Spaniards retaliated.
No. Not for no reason. Because they thought it was fun and they thought they can get away with it. I think I need to make this point very clear. They keep saying for no reason. I think that's very misleading. The migrants felt that they can get away with this and they did it for fun. Because what other reason? And they get enjoyment out of it. That's why they did it. They didn't just do it. No reason means that there was absolutely no way to avoid this. Does that make sense? Like, there was a reason. The reason was they enjoyed it. Like, stop playing like there was no reason. Like, what they're saying, there was no justification. They're misconstruing no reason and no justification. Very different.
And now the migrants are ganging up to attack Spaniards. And this is supposed to be good for the country. House prices increase, quality of life goes down, wages stay low, social capital goes down, there's ethnic conflict.
And then a lot of European countries aren't having babies, so they're literally just being replaced. It's kind of crazy. But then, like, when you try to talk about it, everyone's like this. We don't see it, we don't hear it, we don't know nothing, because we believe in no consequences for some reason.
Trust in community goes down, community involvement goes down, but yeah, immigration.
Police clashed with pro-Spain protesters outside a migrant centre in Madrid after angry demonstrators took to the area following accusations of a Malian man raping a Spanish woman.
Bro, what? I don't know why I'm laughing. This is actually crazy. Imagine you're the Spaniards, you're a Spanish local person, and you're trying to tell your government, hey, we don't want these mass migrants because they're doing violent crimes, and then they punish you again on top of you being the victims of those crimes. Isn't it crazy? That makes there's something weird going on here. That actually is insane to me. This is actually insane to me. La gente de España, ¿qué es lo que están haciendo? ¿Qué está pasando con ustedes? What I'm saying is, man, what is going on with y'all? What are y'all doing?
This commentator applauded the rebellion, saying it's about time. Push back before it's too late.
It's ironic that it's an American. I think this is kind of... you would have thought. I think this is kind of like, as an American myself, like, we have free speech, so I think it's important for us to, when we see things going on, like, so a lot of people in Europe don't have the opportunity to speak their mind, nor they have they just don't have the opportunity. There's a lot of censorship over there, so I do think a lot of Americans not more, maybe. I don't know. I'm just think like me personally, I try to talk about these things because I'm starting to realize that there's a lot of censorship over there. Um, and I'm finding that out because when I'm trying to research things, I'm trying to become more informed and stuff, it's becoming harder because it's harder to get clearer information because a lot of these governments don't want to make they don't want to tell the truth, or they just leave things out. And so, not saying America is even better, but there's just more information in America because we're a little bit more free when it comes to communication. But yeah, I just think if you want to see more of these videos, let me know. But España, te estoy diciendo, por favor, ¿qué es lo que está pasando? Dime. Spain, what's going on? Just tell me. What's going on over there? Anyway, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Is there a solution? And why is the Spanish government seem to be punishing its own people for no reason? Love you guys. Check out the next one. Bye-bye. This video is brought to you, actually, by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.